Southern?
Just between us, Wilson deserted. Lost his nerve. Ran off in the thick of night.
You're kidding me. Damn. Always thought he was made of sterner stuff.
I think he was plagued. Guess he didn't want to die in the sick house.
Plagued? Ah, shit.
Salatún. De atún, salatún.
You moron. Got my sights on you.
Oh, música de rodeo. Aquí me sale. Anda. Aquí no hay bomba, ni mina, ni mierda. ¿Puedo vender cositas? Vende. Nah, no me das vender. Hostia, robado. Aquí se roba. No hay nadie aquí, ¿no? No. Fue a robar lo que se ha dicho. Tiene DB, no hay problema. Aquí no hay nadie en toda esta fase. Esto los baños. Aquí no creo que haya muchas cosas. ¿Para qué coño entro aquí entonces? Ya me tengo mis cosas. Este sitio es interesante. No hay nadie aquí. Es amplio. Tiene cositas. No se ve para nada. Está interesante, está interesante. ¡Ah! Róbame, dame una patada, dice. Qué guay. Dame una patada. ¿Se lo puedo pegar a alguien? En esta fábrica, buah. Voy a poner las botas, Lo que después no puedo cerrar las puertas. Creo que es un poco jodiendo eso, Pero la puerta pero no la puedo cerrar. ¿Sí que pasa desapercibido? ¿Qué? Máquina... ¿Dónde? Ah, aquí. ¿Qué puedo vender? Yo quiero vender, no quiero comprar nada. Que tengo que usar al NPC, tío. Vamos a la planta de arriba. Esta zona está interesante. ¿Le puedo poner la pegatina? Objeto de misión. Hostia, va a estar interesante. Estos son como las ratas de aquí, ¿no? De este mundillo. Aquí ya... ¡Hostia! Tritura las ratas. Tritura las ratas aquí y esto se tritura y se filtra y se hace toda esta mierda. Ahí va. Este no está. Guay. Voy a guardar partida.
You the new worker? Whatever. Make it quick, Tenderfoot. I'm busy. Foreman Granger, mind those words don't come out of your mouth unless preceded by yes or right away or thank you.
No me dice nada más. ¿Qué pasa con esta tía? ¿Y nada? Oh, aquí sí cosas. Tiki, 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 tiki. La peste por las ratillas, coño, como la... Misión actualizada, no sé ni cuál. No. Vamos por otra vez. A la tía que tiene nombre.
What's on your mind?
No me dice nada. Misión actualizada. Misión... Personajes... Diario... Misiones... Muere robo. Ah, vale, ya sé. Era para el tipejo aquí. Vale, bueno, da igual, tampoco es para tanto. Anda, ahora ha bajado el tipo. Yo le robé todo. ¿Dónde estamos yendo, muchacho? Te me has perdido. Hostia, cositas escondidas. Uy, no llego. Esto no se abre. Hay puertas que se ven que se puede abrir y hay puertas que no se abren, que tienen cosillas, gráficos, tal. Bueno, pues está bien.
I'm sorry. I'll just be a minute.
You had a minute. Next one comes out of your pen.
¿Qué será esto?
Stop the threats, friend. I'm going.
Boss's orders. We all got four.
Got my sights on you.
Hostia. Mira lo que hay ahí escondido. Me cago en la leche. ¿Cómo entro ahí? Por aquí no. ¿Cómo entro ahí? Por aquí. Ah, hecho. Perfecto. Tengo que hablar con este tío, ¿no? Qué guay todo, ¿eh? Mola. Oye, tú. El tipo que está por aquí que no lo veo.
Bring us honor, soldier.
Se le dé uno.
You beat that scout to scrap with its own legs? Pulled its optic cables out its head case? Actually, don't tell me. Rather use my imagination. You're a passing fair soldier, I will confess. But you are one, and the enemy is legion. What you need is an equalizer, a weapon to strike fear in their cold, mechanical hearts. Cantina, lavatory, behind one of the toilets. That's where I've kept it hidden all these years.
Ve a la cantina, entra en el servicio y mira detrás de las retretes.
Sharp, ain't it? The lavatory is the very last place a mechanical has need to enter. On the double, soldier. Don't want the bartender poking around in there with a mop.
La cantina, ¿cuál es la cantina? ¿Cuál es la cantina, muchacho? A la cantina otra vez, para adentro. Aquí no he estado, ¿no? Aquí no he estado. El retrete. Porra. Esto, dame de esto otro. Esto, dame de esto otro. Que claro, como estoy jugando más o menos a nivel fácil. Este es retrete o una cantina. Voy para adentro otra vez. Me cago en la leche. Siempre estoy mal de la mierda esa. Esta sería la agua de estúpido, la otra la área de inteligente. Esta voy a intentar hacer la estúpido, que es súper corta, creo yo, de historia. Aunque estoy aquí dándole huerta y todo, me veis directo al grano y alargarlo más, pero bueno. Ya después resultará más fácil porque también estoy aprendiendo yo, o sea que... Esto es la cartina, esto es una iglesia... o algo así. ¿Tú quién eres?
Our work talking to the good vicar always lifts up my spirits.
Cosa para robar.
Yes, what is it? You're an outsider. Fantastic. Vicar Maximilian de Soto, at your service. Or Vicar Max, if you're the sort who prefers brevity. I so rarely get new people to talk to. Name your poison, anything at all. Spiritual counseling? This season's tossball predictions? The quickest way out of town?
La estúpida, niña.
What? And that works. The results are edible. I was under the impression nothing could be grown hereabouts.
No soy un caníbal vegetariano, joder. Un caníbal
Oh, no. You're clearly a better class of... You have a superior grasp of... Well, you're
Eres diferente. Bueno, eres diferente.
Once the spark of life is fled, the mortal form is but unanimated matter, comprised of the same elements as the rest of the universe. We inter
Yo voy a seguir
the
con el
comfort of the living, not the benefit of the dead. While distasteful, I would judge Ms. McDevitt's actions beneficial to the greater good. Close enough. I'm sure you have many issues taxing your limited resources.
Claramente.
You can safely place this one out of mind.
Joder, me llama tonto.
Mechanical tomfoolery is well out of my purview. I suggest you take such matters to Mr. Thompson in the cannery. Oh, and a word of warning. If you're considering wandering around outside the safety of the town, you'd best be cautious. Marauders are about. Though if you are planning on venturing outside, I do have a proposition that may interest you. One of the reasons I transferred here was to fulfill my duty in hunting down banned heretical texts. I happen to know such a book is, as we speak, tainting a collector's library in Emerald Vale. However, the collector's residence lies outside the town's walls. My retrieval efforts have been thwarted by marauders who have overrun the property. Should you fare better than me, I'd pay a handsome sum for the book. What? You seem the perfect type to go blindly into the wild on a suicidal quest. I'm looking for a journal, a handwritten book, with the name M. Bokonu on the cover. I'll pay you to find it. I just want to keep the writing out of layman's hands. It wouldn't do for such information to fall into public consumption. On the contrary, my position means that I am one of the few legally allowed to possess such items. But do not worry. You'll be safe since you are acting on my behalf. I can assure you, you won't find another willing to risk imprisonment to possess this book, nor anyone willing to pay the price I can offer. Glad we see eye to eye. Thank you. If you retrieve it, you can always find me here. Any progress on that matter we discussed? Please get it. a religious text deemed heretical by the OSI as an unsafe object at large, though I understand why a collector would desire to possess such a rare book. Because I'm also a collector of books. Rare things in this colony. Appreciation of the written word outside monthly periodicals is virtually unknown here. I've never seen you before, and there's been no paperwork indicating a transfer. Half the time it's wrong, but a new worker without paperwork? Unheard of. Also, you lack the distinctive worker gaze. Usually either a deadening behind the eyes, or in some rare cases, a wild-eyed frenzy, like a trapped animal. I merely meant to say that you're not beaten down by... You know what? Forget it. You have my sincerest apologies. They who are not satisfied with their work are satisfied with nothing. No? How about, work fortifies the spirit. True exhaustion awaits idle hands. The OSI teaches that the Grand Architect set a perfect system in motion at the beginning of time. Contentment is found by accepting one's role in that grand plan. That's not how it works. The Grand Architect has no concern for us beyond setting the plan in motion. Obviously. Look, if we can figure out how to read the grand plan, we can more perfectly align ourselves to it, bringing the order of scientific inquiry, also known as scientism to the layperson. What would you like to discuss?
Sí. Interesante. No se ha enterado. El pavo.
Hey there, Mary. Don't see you round
¿Tú
here
quién eres?
too often.
Oh, I just came to talk to the vicar is all. None of us are above confessionals.
What have you got to confess? You ain't thinking of deserting, are you?
What?
No hay nada.
No. And I resent the accusation.
Wasn't nothing but a question. Do excuse me.
I must be on my way. Verity to you.
Desde la cantina y todo el rollo ese. ¿De dónde vengo yo? ¿Dónde estoy? ¿Esa qué? Esta es la puerta. Esta es la puerta por donde vine. Esa es la iglesia. Ahí está la fábrica, ¿no? Sí. Vale. Está por aquí. ¿Descubierto qué descubierto? Si es un callejón. ¿Hay algo aquí? Vaya, una pala para partir cara. Voy a partir la cara. He descubierto no sé qué. ¿Esto qué es?
It's not the best choice, it's Spacer's choice. And before you ask, I'm all out of deluxe salt tuna. All I've got is gourmet. Music to my ears.
Vamos a vender cosas. Quiero vender toda la mierda cogida. Vendo. Hostia, ¿esto qué es? Un mazote. ¿Y esto? Hostia, esto es nuevo. Esto vendo. Esto es nuevo. Me tengo ganas, Tengo un franco aquí también. De equipamiento. Salud, nada. Esto nada. Esto nada. Esto basura. Vale.
Work your jaw on some Spacer's chaw. You ought to go have a talk with the boss, Reed Thompson. He's up in his tower above the cannery. Go right ahead. What, you mean Edgewater? That's a peculiar question. This a test? Am I being tested right now? It's, fine and dandy. Couldn't be happier. Wouldn't want to spend my life working anywhere else. Prettiest little town on Terra 2.
De Terra 2.
You are condescending to me, and I do not care for it. I am lucky to have my work, lucky to be alive. I don't get paid for banter. Was there something you needed? Go right ahead. Other than yourself? Definitely the vicar. Don't get me wrong. He seems a decent man, cut from church cloth, knows his scriptures. But there's something about him that bothers me. Like he's not one of us. Sometimes I suspect he doesn't even want to be here. Plague? I don't know anything about a plague. We are the very picture of hot-blooded physical vigor. I take umbrage with your choice of phrase. We ain't sick, we're rugged. Some of us who get sick are liable to exaggerate the conditions of that sickness, but the fact is, if you work hard, you have got no cause to worry. Survival of the fittest. It ain't just the law of nature, it's company policy. Medical treatment is commensurate with our value to society. Spacer's Choice will dispense medicine for the indispensable. Then the hand of medical science will not grace you with its touch, and you must recover on the virtue of your own grit. Listen, you mind if we talk about something else? Rambling about company policy.
Todo te roba. Y este también se roba. Y este no pasa nada. Y este también. Cabrón, nada más sé cosas aquí. Bueno, vendí cosas. Me parece bien. Vendí cosas. Callejuelo aquí. Callejuelos. Una escalera para nada. Para ningún sitio. Qué raro. Estoy en la entrada otra vez. ¿Hasta atrás estuve ya o no estuve?
Keep your distance, friend. Sick house is no place for a traveler.
I appreciate the company and all, but you really ought to leave. You don't want to be seen around me. Because I'm sick. You don't want to associate with people in the sick house. We're not worth your time. I'm in about as much trouble as I can be. No reason you ought to be tarnished by association. People are gonna talk. I don't know which company you work for, but if it's Spacer's Choice, boss can still write you up for fraternizing with an incompetent worker. Maybe you don't know this, but there's a real simple reason you don't talk to the plagued. You don't want what we've got. I'm not allowed to leave the sick house. Even if I were, I shouldn't be at the cantina. I don't want to spread what I've got. And I don't want to bring their spirits down.
La medicina es pegarse por ayer.
Weak spirits lead to weak bodies. If I didn't want to fall sick with plague, maybe I should have worked harder. Maybe I should have taken more pride in my work. You've got Adrena time? How? No, I don't want to know. Could be you stole it. Could be you trying to test me. See if I'm gonna violate company policy. I'm feeling a touch faint. If you don't mind, I'd like to be alone for a spell. I don't want any trouble.
Why?
Sick days come out of my pay.
No sé dónde está la cantina esa. Esta está muerta, ¿no? Voy a guardar. ¿Estará muerta o no estará muerta? Este va a ser bueno a disparar a lo loco. ¿Y cómo me ve? En primer lugar. Me puedo robar esta peña. Peña muerta aquí, de gusto. Esta no. Odia ratas, vete a por las ratas.
Move along.
Si muere ya no es problema.
Please don't touch anything. Your hands are probably crawling with germs. Physical hygiene recapitulates moral hygiene. Cleanliness is next to lawfulness. This is what happens when you eat with your fingers.
Te vas a poder comer la
I'm
mano.
Conrad. You will report to me if your hair fails to meet Spacer's Choice aesthetic standards. You will also report to me in the event of your death, whereupon I will clean and prepare your remains for interment. A ship? Dear me. You seem to have lost the ability to distinguish between reality and fantasy. This is what happens when you let your imagination run wild. I don't approve of fantasizing. It's a dreadful habit, corrosive to the mental faculties. You ought to let the vicar take a look inside your head. And he allowed you to wander around town spreading your pernicious fantasies about repairing ships? My opinion of him approaches its nadir. He doesn't seem to like us much. The vicar has not been with us long, and in his relatively short tenure in Edgewater, gives off the distinct whiff of superiority. Go ahead. Edgewater has been good to me. I consider myself privileged to work.
Hay que leer un montón, tío.
I am never wanting for work. No. The plagues come at us with a
En la
vengeance.
siguiente rubro le voy a dar al fuego de esta
Lost
zona,
6 workers in as many months. I wouldn't call them good workers. Fever, company policy, friend. We don't have enough medicine to treat all of us, so we treat the best among us. Mr. Thompson's brainchild. Have you met him yet? Thoughtful-looking fellow, stares out of his office most hours.
¿Te puedo ver la mierda del guardia? ¿Qué roba? Me cago en tu muerto. Eso... Que robar al guardia. Guarda partida. Aquí yo no sé ni cómo se cierran las puertas. Pero si no me pillaba yo aquí... Este tío... Cataplasma.
What can I do for you? Go ahead.
Puedo ir para allá. ¿Y yo no puedo salir aquí de la puerta o qué?
What do you think you're doing? Do what you want, I guess. That was your last warning.
Vale, sí me ve, sí me pilla. No vayamos a lo bruto.
wish we had some better.
Welcome to the Spacer's Choice Constabulary. We are Halcyon's leading brand in frontier justice. The office is writing up promotion. Purchase 3 criminal investigations and the 4th one's free.
Hostia, chollas, ¿no?
As a Spacer's Choice Constable, I am authorized to grant you legal authority toward apprehending wanted criminals. Know how to carry yourself in a fight? I've got bounties out for these 3 marauders. Cross them off and bring me their fingers. Just 1 per marauder, please. I'll dust off the old fingerprint roller. Anthracillin, huh? That's an anti-Cleo product. I appreciate your vigilance on behalf of Spacer's Choice. I'll make sure this medicine goes to where it's most needed. Sealed, packaged, and delivered to a Spacer's Choice storage facility. Standard procedure for contraband, you see. Medical treatment by Anti-Cleo's products is strictly prohibited under Spacer's Choice company policy. I distribute this medicine to our workers, and we're all complicit in a crime. You are, of course, entitled to a reward for assisting in the apprehension of any contraband. Your compensation and your receipt. Spacer's Choice wishes you a productive shift. Something to report? As long as your questions fall within the acceptable margins of curiosity. If this is a setup to a joke, you should know I've never found anything amusing in my life. I don't serve Edgewater. Edgewater and the entire region of Emerald Vale serves Spacer's Choice. Careful, stranger. Talk like that comes dangerously close to sedition. His likeness decorates many a wanted poster. Do you have any relevant information about this individual? You're correct. An outstanding bounty has been posted for information pertaining to the whereabouts of Phineas V. Wells. Unfortunately, the arrest of Mr. Wells falls outside my authority. I enforce the company policy of Spacer's Choice in the region of Emerald Vale. Wells is wanted by the board. If you have information related to the location of Phineas V. Wells, you are required to submit that information to your nearest board authority. Something to report? As long as your questions fall with... If this is a setup to a joke, you should know I've never found anything amusing in my life. I don't serve Edgewater. Edgewater and the entire region of Emerald Vale serves Spacer's Choice. Flattery won't get you anywhere with me. The bureaucracy is a noble profession, but not all of us are gifted enough to serve in it. Spacer's Choice is a wholly owned subsidiary of Universal Defense Logistics, which occupies a seat on the Halcyon Holdings Corporation, also known as the board.
Cooperación para cooperar. Guarda, vamos a ver si me puedo pillar esa mierda. Que viene bien para hackear. Aquí me ve. Vamos detrás. No me ve. ¿Y cómo sé yo si me está viendo o no me está viendo? Bueno, medio. Vale.
Friend of mine died a couple weeks back. Still ain't past it.
Just the way it goes, I suppose.
Esto no es de nadie. Hostia. Interesante. Retrocanso. Hostia. ¿Te casaplón? ¿Dónde carajo estoy? Va el casoplón de alguien importante. De misión. Bien, para coger cosas. A ver, aquí he estado, aquí no he estado. Te la share. ¿Y esto qué?
Yes, Mr. Thompson. I'm fine, Mr. Thompson. Never been healthier. Whoa, did Mr. Thompson send you? You tell Mr. Thompson I'll be right at my post tomorrow. Bright and early tomorrow, because I'm definitely not plagued. As spry as a spring chicken. That's old Abernathy. Didn't nobody ever tell you to never impress yourself between a man and his muttering? Which is, by the way, a normal and healthy mode of expression. You don't know that. I could have been saying anything. Maybe I said vague. You know how words sound a mite strange when you're sick. Wait, no. Oh, damn it. Okay, listen. Maybe I am feeling a little under the weather, but I swear I'm on the mend. Please, don't tell the constable. She'll toss me in the sick house. I would have confessed before the good vicar. Get some ablutions for my spirit. Just never found my courage is all. Hey, you're hale and healthy and possibly for hire, ain't you? Do a good turn for an expiring old man? Couple hours out of your day and some light second story work, that's all. There's a cache of anthracillin tucked away in the old community center. Powerful stuff. Stronger than what we got, anyway. I need you to break in, nab that medicine, and bring it back to me. You what? But why? I was dependent on you. Does it feel good, robbing an old man of his last shred of hope? You really are a piece of work. I hope somebody with plague spits in your drink. So, you just here to watch me die, or what?
Che. Guarda. Pues yo se lo di a la tía antes de... Bueno, la próxima... Eso, pues... La tía la veo de... La última. Aquí no hay una mierda. Esto es el alma del tío ese. Esto es la cantina, por cierto.
I've been feeling pretty low these days.
¿Cuál es la cantina de este lugar?
I've got some time. Oh, I'm an actuary. That means I keep tabs on a worker's living expenses. How much it costs to feed, clothe, shelter, bury, and replace your average human worker. Technically, I'm employed by the Spacer's Choice Department of Human Resources.
Tiene que haber un sitio... Aquí. ¿No? A ver, ¿qué me falta por mirar? Yo voy a todo, ¿no? La cartera que se busca. ¿Y estos tíos dónde estarán, tío? Este sitio ya está ya. Pero... Aquí también he estado. Que vendo las cosas. Me falta la cantina. Roba, mierda.
I don't know you. We don't welcome trouble. I don't know what you're about, but this here's a Spacer's Choice drinking establishment. We're all loyal, hard-working company folk here. Hey, come on now. That was uncalled for. Some of us are still sober. If you're gonna have a drink, I'd like to ask that you do it within the premises. Can't have you taking drinks over to those deserters. Traitors. The lot of them. Bunch of folks decided they were tired of working and went out into the wilds to fend for their own selves. Town's already struggling to make quotas, even without that band of slackwits abandoning their posts. Bunch of lazy, shiftless rung leeches. Anyway, enough about them. What can I do for you? Do you now? And what makes you think Mr. Thompson wants to talk to you? He's a busy man. You want to talk to Mr. Thompson, try ignoring your duties. He'll summon you up to that great big tower atop the cannery, and you'll get yourself a proper dressing down. Go ahead. The Hope? No, I've never mixed a drink by that name. I could get you a rum and something if you like. Wait, no, never mind. We're all out of something. Yeah, I got vague recollections of some folklore about a mysterious colony ship. You feeling a bit flushed? Look, why don't you go set yourself down in the corner before you get all tangle-footed? Would you keep your voice down? You're gonna get the whole cantina written up. The Hope's folklore, all right? 60, 70-year-old folklore by now. The board don't approve of spreading seditious rumors and falsehoods. You're inviting trouble talking that way, and I don't want a part of it. Look, either shut your gob or stick a drink in it. We're done talking about this. Coming right up.
Tengo dos armas iguales, anda. ¿Cómo consigo esta arma?
Oh, I almost forgot. I'm contractually obligated to recite company slogans to any visitors. You tried the best, now try the rest. Spacer's Choice. Go ahead. don't see how that's any of your business. And there's no need for you to pry either. Ugh, is this the start of a joke? If you want me to laugh at your jokes, it's a 3-drink minimum. Coming right up. We'll get you mostly drunk at half the price. Go ahead.
Detrás del arma de la cantina. O sea, estos son los baños, ¿no? Será aquí. Por suerte tengo tanta mierda para abrirlo. No sé si es esto lo que tenemos. A lo mejor no era esto lo que tengo que meter. Bueno, me vale. Creía que era en el baño. De la cantina. No veo una mierda. No me han pillado ninguno. Bien, 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 bien.
Just gotta keep our hands.
Never seen you here before. You a visitor? Welcome. On behalf of the Spacer's Choice family, let me welcome you to where am I again? Oh, I ask myself questions all the time. For example, why do we spend money on these fancy latrines when we have a perfectly good wall outside? What can I say? I was blessed with a gift of insight. Might have made a fine administrator if I weren't a lowly cannery worker. Being a cannery worker has its perks, though. I'm encouraged to imbibe as much zero-G brew as I can afford. Even got myself a tidy little injury discount. Yep. Got my mid stuck in a rotor wheel. Shredded my wrist up real good. Conrad went and sewed up my hand, but I couldn't do much about the pain. Boss was real generous to me, though. Got myself a 5% discount on zero-G brew. After the second bottle, the only pain I feel is emotional. Oh, you can say that again. The Spacer's Choice family is the only family.
Carry on. I don't have time for this. Somebody's been rambling about something.
Spacer's Choice.
Sorry, I got a lot to do.
Hey.
Sorry. Sorry, I'm...
No la cámara ni nada, ¿no? A ver. Yo que también voy a lo loco.
Something got you down?
Nothing. Just don't want to fall sick.
¿Qué lugar me queda por revisar?
Almost lost a finger in the cannery.
La llosa. Porra. Coño, ¿cómo chupo yo de esto? Aquí no hay nadie. A pillar todo. Guarda partida. Bien, 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 bien. Estoy pillando todo. ¿Y esta casa vacía? Qué raro esto. Ya tengo que ir yo. ...40, 30 y pico metros. Esta zona no he estado yo. No, he estado yo. Ah, cuando está volado. Vale, vale, vale. Por aquí. Vale, vale, vale. Y por aquí.
The grease monkey, Argo?
I'm sorry, Mr. Thompson, sir. You asked why it's taking so long to fix. The answer's technical.
Don't apologize. Just try using small words for me.
The cans bust open and the...
Lo que hemos tardado en hacer... Llega aquí, ¿eh? Lo dejo por aquí y seguimos la siguiente, ¿no? Mejor. Sí. Vamos a dejarlo por aquí.
Saltuna, which isn't what we've got. Mr. Thompson? I think there's someone here to see you.
Focus, Miss Holcomb. You and I are still talking. Let's start over. Walk me through the process. Show... Seems we've got a guest. Really now, Parvati, I do wish you'd spoken up. I do apologize. I was given no forewarning of your arrival, or I might have welcomed you at the gates myself. I'm Reed Thompson, Outpost Administrator. I cannot help but notice you are not in uniform. Shirt, pants, work boots, company-approved colors. The, honorable apparel of a loyal worker?
Only regulator we got is hooked up to the town transformer. Mr. Thompson ain't liable to be keen on dismantling it.
I beg your pardon. I am most emphatically not keen on any such thing. I can't let you have our power regulator. But I happen to know of another one. And I happen to know exactly how you may retrieve it without frying yourself in the process. Oh, yes. Saw someone put his hands on a regulator while the power was running. His legs were still twitching when we buried him.
Sí, que
There's a power regulator in the old botanical lab. It's mostly abandoned, so all that power is being squandered. Go down to the geothermal plant. Reroute power from the botanical district over to us. Once their power's shut down, you can have their regulator and be along on your way. You're the first stranger to wander into town in an age. Scripture tells us that nothing happens without reason.
Yo me pego un montacaramblazo.
The geothermal plant was built by our owners, Spacer's Choice. Lit up the whole Vale once upon a time. Most of the Vale is now abandoned. All that power is going to waste. We could use the power. Cannery's been struggling. If we don't ramp up productivity, the company might cut us loose.
Oh, eficiencia.
We are doing our very best. Trouble is, we simply do not have enough hands working the cannery. I was not entirely sure how to tell you this. The botanical labs are not legally inhabited, but there are people who live there. The people living in the botanical labs, they're deserters, former workers. I need them back at their posts. I need them to come home. Edgewater is struggling. We haven't hit our production quota in years. If we don't meet our quotas this year, the company might shut us down for good. I need those workers back at their stations. It's our problem, not yours, but I'm asking for your help. If those workers don't come back, Edgewater is going to collapse. My hope is that by cutting off their power, you will convince those deserters to come back to town. Before you go to the plant, I want you to stop by the botanical lab. Speak to their leader, Adelaide. Tell her the power's about to go, and that it's time her band of deserters came back to town. Of course, I understand completely. Here, let me give you the passcode to the geothermal plant. A sign of good faith for so politely listening to me as I ramble on.
Are you setting off for the Vale? Because I know my way around. I mean, in case you want a guide. I mean, if that's all right with you, Mr. Thompson. Sir.
I hesitate to part ways with Miss Holcomb, but I cannot deny that she is talented and may prove useful to you.
Sí, claro que sí, que se me uno.
Great! I got my wrenches and diagnosticators and hairpins and engine tape, so I'm all set.
Well, I am glad to hear that. Best of luck to you, and thank you again for your help. It is a lot to ask of a stranger, I know.
Vale. Acompañante.
Some whole heads running. My offer remains standing should you reconsider. Go ahead. That you are not one of us may work to your advantage. Adelaide and her folk loathe the people of Edgewater, you see. I admit the fault was mine. I'm about as diplomatic as a bristling canid. I just hope Adelaide and her folk will see their way past my flaws and return to town. Scripture tells us we all have our purpose in the world. Our work shows us that purpose. We should not have to move on from it. Yes, we have lost good workers to desertion. We have lost even more to plague. But it is why we must square our shoulders and carry on.
No vaya a
Go
perseguir.
ahead. It is my job to keep 2 eyes on my town. I am the steward of this place, and this is my watch post. I'm trying to remember 25 years, 26. When you get to my age, the years just rush by. You stop counting altogether. I remember looking out this window and seeing the veils spread out from horizon to horizon. We were a sprawling town. We were booming. Times change, people change, but the veil will always be here. Spacer's choice will always be here. Our work won't ever end. I take comfort in that. This is a Spacer's Choice town. We're all part of the Spacer's Choice family here. The company keeps us warm, keeps us fed, keeps us working. Loyalty's got nothing to do with it, friend. This is good old-fashioned gratitude. I wish you wouldn't say things like that. I expect you wouldn't understand. You don't see the town as I do.
Lo pienso muy fuerte,
When I stand at my window and look out over my town, here's what I see. I see decent, loyal, hard-working people. I see a family. We are all part of the Spacer's Choice family. We are all doing what we were brought in. Go ahead. Adelaide was our only flavor specialist. We are a Saltuna canning institution. Saltuna without flavor is like a cysty pig without tumors, borderline inedible. Begging your pardon, Saltuna is a staple in the diet of any self-respecting spacer. Were it up to me, friend, I'd stack our larders with Saltuna galore. No other brand of Saltuna adds as much vim or vigor to the body's humors. But, and this is something we must keep between the two of us, Saltuna is hard to come by, what with being a species indigenous to the seas of another world. Every meal? Hold on there, friend. This isn't Byzantium. We eat once a day, in accordance with Spacer's Choice nourishment regulations. Go ahead. Can we not? Talking about unpleasant things always gets my bile up. If I had enough medicine to treat everyone who fell sick, I would, but I don't. I can't save everyone. So I have to choose. It is not easy for me. And the moment it becomes easy is the moment I am no longer fit to serve. Spacer's Choice is a family. That I cannot say. There was no moment when the plagues began. Disease always lurks on the fringes of society, waiting to infect the idle and the lethargic. But in the last 10 years, the plagues have become progressively worse and increasingly frequent. Modern science disagrees with you, friend. It is a well-documented fact that the wealthiest in society do not suffer from ailments of the Constitution. I believe plague is a test.
Ahí está, habla compi.
We better clear out of Mr. Thompson's office before we talk.
Vale, claro. Chucu, chucu. Hola.
We better clear out of Mr. Thompson's office before we talk.
Está tremenda, chiquitín. Vamos para allá.
Hey, mister, can we talk? Sorry.
Ahora sí.
Got a sec?
Que sí.
Sorry. You just want to get out of here. And you likely don't want to tag along like me. It's just, Mr. Thompson has his own view on matters, on account of it's his job and what all, but that's not the only side of the tale. Oh, he ain't a liar. He believes every word he says. It's just, he doesn't always get where other folk are talking from. To Mr. Thompson, a person's a gear. It does its job quiet-like. If it squeaks or stutters, it gets replaced. The deserters are decent folk. I knew some of them before they left. Life's hard here, especially for them that don't fit in so well. We're one big Spacer's Choice family, but every family's got the one the rest whisper about.
Este ya no sé lo que es el mundo.
Mr. Thompson's aiming to take away their power. They'll have no lights to see nor heat to cook. They'll be at the mercy of marauders or worse. I think you should talk to the town's vicar about it. Max, his name is. Thanks, mister. I just think when you gotta make a decision that'll hurt somebody, it's best to think on the right and wrong of it. That's what my dad used to say anyways.
Vale. Que ese más es el curilla de este tonto culo. Mira, tengo a la tía en una esquinita ahí. No, a ver.
I've always felt weird in here. It's too clean.
Any progress on that matter we discussed? Ah, Miss Holcomb. How rare to see you out. And with a complete stranger. Curious.
This here's Vicar DeSoto. He's always offering spiritual counsel to those that need it.
Thank you for the kind assessment, Miss Holcomb. I admit, I've been quite interested to make our outsider's acquaintance. Please get it. What would you like to discuss?
What? I thought you would talk to him.
You wanted to speak to me, Ms. Holcomb? Every time I've tried to engage you in conversation, you look at the floor, answer in single words, and slink away. I can't imagine what would be so grave as to drive her to my mission. What has Mr. Thompson asked you to do? That seems well within your expertise.
The way we do it's by cutting off power to the others. The ones who left.
Adelaide McDevitt's encampment. I can see why that troubles you. Miss Holcomb has a soft heart. Always has, if you believe the talk. I see today we'll be conversing without metaphors. I guess her condition is incurable. It's unlikely to be fatal, but she may feel more heartache than most.
Could you maybe stop talking about me like I'm some kind of weird bug?
Assuming your goal is to save as many as possible, then you should bring everyone together. Send the power to Edgewater and convince the deserters to return to the fold. Not if things are left to stand as they are.
Where are we headed? You mean about the mission being too clean? I know, but Vicker says the universe is a machine, that it runs by law. Real machines have gunked up oil, scratches, and worn bits. You can tell they've seen handling, been used by folk. The machine Vicker sees is one ain't never been run. It's not for people to live in. It's something on a museum shelf, under glass. I reckon we already do, we ain't got no choice in the matter. So maybe somebody ought to take a rap to it.
Espérate, ¿puedo ponerle cosas a la...? Diario, no. Diario... ¿A ella la puedo equipar o a ella no la puedo equipar? ¿A ella se le puede equipar o a ella no se le puede equipar? Yo no sé. Oye. Cambiar orden. Nombre. Mantener. Reparado. Coño, este me repara todo. Vale, pero me la repara la tía. Y yo gastando ahí perra para repararme a los otros. Me caché. Por cierto, yo no puedo cambiar de personaje. Personaje. Talento. No me puedo subir nada. Nada. Taja. No me puedo poner nada. Nada. No. No puedo elegir la chica, ¿no? Para equiparla. Qué raro. A lo mejor no la tengo. A lo mejor aquí no es. Ahí tengo que ir. Vaya. La RPG suele ser. Ya, de día. Está guay el paisaje. Oye, yo no sé si encontré esto en el baño. ¿Qué habré encontrado yo en el baño? Yo en el baño no encontré nada.
Bring us honor, soldier.
A ver, ¿dónde tengo que ir ahora? Voy a todos estos sitios. Cónchale, a todos estos sitios no he ido yo. Vamos a hacer todos estos sitios. Guay, guay. Vamos a hacer las misiones. Tengo la principal, pero vamos a hacer las otras. Ya que estoy camino. Puedo intentar terminar esta y pasar de todo, irme directamente al final y hacerla en la siguiente, ¿no? También se puede hacer así. La zona interesante no puede ser. Ese para allá.
Hey, Miss Patati.
Papá.
Not today. Just helping this fella.
Ahora que estoy fuera, ¿podría cambiar de personaje? Anda, mira, ya lo tengo, concho. Cónchale. ¿Esta tía va a melee? ¿Con qué arma? 8. Esto es 9. Equipa. Y casquillo 9. ¿Qué ingeniería? Dama es 142. 23. No tengo nada más mejor que esa arma de ellos. Sí, esto. Escopeta. Y... cerca, ¿no? Nada. Sí, vamos a probarla así. Pa. Vale. Voy a guardar partida. Ya sé cómo es la manejo a la tía. Aquí está la nave. Pues yo tengo que ir a la nave. Y tengo que ir aquí. Vamos a hacer las misiones de aquí. Esta gente lo tengo revisado ya. Guay. Uy, este sitio no está yo. Y me ha quedado el cadáver. Se convierte en ceniza el cadáver. ¿Y ahora cuál es la ceniza del cadáver? Pues no sé. Porra, me quedo sin cadáver. Sauce, no sé qué. Entonces me quedo sin el cadáver. Anda, por Dios. ¿Qué tenía que venir yo? Dale ahí. Vamos a darle. Toma ahí. Guay. A full. Hostia, que limpia. Por cierto, ¿cómo se sube ahí arriba? ¿Cómo se sube? Uy, lo que me viene bien. Mierda. Y lo necesitaba esto y no tengo suficiente aún. A ver. Tiene que haber algún sitio para subir. Ah, aquí hay. Guay. Yo voy a subir. No, esto no. Esto. A ver. A ver, ¿qué hay por aquí? Cosas. Bien. No es suficiente, pero bien. Aquí sale un quechu, tío. Anda, por Dios. Hola. Tengo churri ya. Bien. Aquí cae. Guay. Una cajita. Guay. Guay. ¿No hay más peña por aquí? Uy, me asustaste, tía. Chin, 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 chin. Yo creo que está todo ya, ¿no? Joder, esto no va a ser jodida, ¿eh? Me he dado cuenta. Pingaillos. Hostia, estos sitios nuevos, ¿no? A ver, que hay muchos sitios donde tenemos que ir. A este sitio, misión inactiva, a este otro, misión. Y aquí. Guay, guay, guay. Guarda. Que tengo compañera. Lo que creo que las compañeras nos mueren. Siempre que me va por aquí. Uy. Guay, 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 guay. Vamos para allá. Espérate, espérate. ¿No tengo un arma mejor? Inventario. 23. Y este 89. Lo que es una porra eléctrica. Ahí va, este cuál es. Ahí va, está guapo. Se ve cosa. No, es un poco jodido subir por ahí. ¿Cómo entro yo? ¿Cómo entro yo? ¿Por dónde entro yo, muchacho? Hay una forma para entrar. Uy, por aquí. Voy a intentar entrar por aquí. ¿Y tú también saltaste? Coño, no te vi. Vamos. Con la borra. Vale. Cóchale. Había que ir a una puerta. Anda, hombre. Yo creo que lo he hecho bien. Me metió aquí y le he dado unos sopapos. No sabía que había una entrada por aquí. Hostia, a ese no. Vamos a ver. No. No puedo. No puedo mandar a la chica tampoco, ¿no? A que lo haga ella. Guay, 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 guay. Vamos a ver. Vamos a ver. Nivel puede recibir una nueva ventaja. Hostia. Vete de frente, muchacha. Toma, toma, hostia. Toma, hostia. Toma, hostia. Toma, hostia. Dale, hostia, ahí, con el martillo. Guay, 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 guay. Batilla. Martillo ahí a full. Sin contemplación. Tengo habilidades para la chica. Basura punto. Coño, médico. Voy para allá. Espérase un momento. Guarda partida.